I find this just a little bit problematic. It seems that the women's movement has come to an end because the Supreme Court in Canada has decided there are no women. There are people with lady parts. That's the polite term I'm going to use. But women, no, you can't use that term because they say it's problematic. I say it's problematic to say it's problematic, but these people are woke leftist and reality just doesn't seem to sit in with those people. They seem to think that men can have babies. So what do you expect? Well, what I expect is for these people not to be appointed to the Supreme Court of any country, particularly an enlightened country like Canada. These are the same woke leftists who get all upset over, nonplussed is probably a better term, but they get all upset if a young earth creationist starts talking about this supreme being speaking everything into existence, and they say, how silly is that? Then they turn right around and say there's no such thing as women and men can have babies. So apparently there is such a thing as men because they can have babies, but women can't. Oh, they've degraded women to people with lady parts. That's all they are. So instead of having a women's rights movement, we're going to have a people with lady parts movement. Let's scroll up here and take a look at the headline. It says, first reading Supreme Court decision opts for a person with lady parts over woman. And at issue is a case of somebody who was, I can't say the R word on YouTube, but they were sexually assaulted. Let's put it that way. And according to the story, the Supreme Court of Canada ruled in a recent sexual assault case that it was problematic for a lower court judge to refer to the alleged victim as a woman. Pausing for emphasis, just so you can stop and think about this for a second, implying that the more appropriate term should have been person with a lady's part. Is there a rule book somewhere where leftists are logging this in and so we can all keep track of it, kind of like a Bible for the woke that's currently in the works so we can know what these commandments are? Christianity and Judaism, they have 10 commandments. But the woke left, they've got thousands of commandments. They keep coming up with new ones. And one of the latest is you can no longer say woman. Next thing you know, they're going to be saying we can't hold the door for women because there are no women. Besides that, it's offensive. If you hold a door for a woman, that means that you are controlling the woman. Yeah, I've actually seen them say that. In a decision published Friday, Justice Sheila Martin, I'm thinking that's who this person is in the Santa Claus suit. Justice Sheila Martin wrote that a trial judge's use of the word woman may have been unfortunate and engendered confusion. There's the word gender in engendered. I wonder if that's problematic because it's talking about gender, and every good Marxist knows there's no such thing as gender. It's all just a social construct. Have you ever wondered why they do this nonsense? Let me tell you since you asked. The reason they do this is in the Marxist ideology of their mindset. The only injustices have to be attributed to social causes. Can't be biological causes. So how do you deal with that? Because we're biologically different. They just deny it. They're biology deniers. Though we are all the same. Men, women, there's really no difference. It's a sociological observation that is not really true at all, according to them. So you can't use words like woman, because that would imply that there is a biological difference between men and women, and it's really just a social construct, according to the woke left. And yes, they are woke. They do actually see this stuff. Nobody else can see it. All right, Martin does not specify the word woman and is confusing, but the next passage in her decision refers to the complainant as a person with a lady part. Notably, not one person in the entire case is identified as transgender, and the complaint is referred to throughout as a she. They got a lot of work to do. I mean, what they need to do is get on Chat GBT, and that'll work with them because it's kind of biased anyhow toward the left, and just everything they write, just put delete any gender references and change it to gender neutral. Yeah, you can actually do that on Chat GBT, and they'll do it for you. But if you do it the other way, then they'll send you this nasty message that says, "I don't think this applies to our community standards properly," or something to that effect. Okay, the case was R versus Kruk, which involved a 2017 charge of sexual assault against then 34-year-old Maple Ridge, BC man Charles Kruk. Mr. Kruk found the complainant intoxicated, lost, and distressed one night in downtown Vancouver. Reads the background to the case. He decided to take her to his house and connected with the complainant's parents by phone. It's then that the accounts rather diverge. You can't say her word versus his word. You have to say their word versus their word, or its word versus its word. Got to be careful, because we don't want to offend anybody. The complainant testified that it woke up to find that its pants were off. Okay, let's don't read this. This is kind of over the top, R-rated. I don't even like to talk about this stuff, but it's perfectly okay, in the woke media. So the point is, there are no more women. Problem solved. So if you are part of the women's movement, you might as well give up and quit because, you just don't even exist. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you all next time.